Well, good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. We are live. We'll do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. I can't say live or I'm live without thinking of that. That was the great Bill O'Reilly. It was from a long time ago, too. God, at least 25, 30 years maybe. And he was doing something, obviously, or they were going to record it, and there was some kind of problem with the I don't know, the production, the equipment. He says, we'll do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. That shit is so funny. Shout out to everybody here. Appreciate you being here. We are live once again. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. I was going to say, I see you and section. So that's how you get that word. But I see you. Thanks for being in the comment section. Let's see who's in this bitch. Matt, Joe, Ophiuchus, Antonius, Island, what's up? Kenny, they killed Kenny. Becky, all you mofos. Appreciate you being here. And Kenny's up in Canada. What are you talking about? At work. I hope it's quick and painless, man. I hope you're able to go home to your family or whatever you got going on at home. I hope you get to it soon. Wow. So many things to talk about. So many things going on. You see in the description, of course, the $1.2 trillion deal in Qatar, which included, well, we'll get into what it included. The Democrats are threatening Trump. I did a video about this yesterday, but I definitely want to check in with you guys and see what you thought of that. And you got that. And the South African refugees coming here. Everybody has a problem with that shit. You have a national homeless veteran center. What? Why has no one else thought of this? Why has no one else thought of that, to have a national homeless veteran center? I don't get that. Stephen, Ruben, Jake, Kyle, Bones, Sweet Mama, G, Michael, Onlooker, Daphne. You don't see that name too much. Daphne. YouTubers censor our free shit. Free speech. They sure do. Oh, that's rad. What's up, GJB? GJB Films, almost over 2 years as a member. I thank you. And I'm going to be revamping the member thing too, so keep your eyes peeled. GJB says, yo, Jericho, happy for you Americans. Unlike me, who's stuck in Canada, going to welding and fabrication school soon at 22. Wish me luck. Hey, that's great, man. I am kind of leaning on my kids to definitely, pursue higher education, but more so, really for both of them. Like, I would rather, Ray, what's going on? Silverback, I see you. I'll get to you in a second. But I'd rather they do a trade school, because you graduate quicker, there's no debt, and you start making money sooner, and you start making real good money. So I don't know, kids, they're going to do what they're going to do. We can only influence them so much, but I'm definitely leaning on, I've talked to them about it before. I've dropped little seeds here and there. I would definitely rather they go to a trade school than a 4-year university. I'm sure there's some 4-year schools that are good out there. They're not all indoctrination, open, festering leftist wounds, but we're leaning toward trade school over here. Silverback, thank you. He says, damn, JG, long time. It has been a long time. Thank you for the Hamilton. He says, I've been missing you as I worked nights, but now unemployed / free. Just retired from the Air Force, 20 years and 19 days. I hope all is well with you, man. Did you move yet? No, I haven't moved to Texas. We actually No one's has bitten. Well, we had a couple bites here and there, but nothing serious. It's really the buyer's market right now because interest rates are coming down, but the market's just flooded with new, where I live, with new houses, tons, hundreds of new homes. Not as big as the ones that, my house was built in 2004. So it's a bigger lot. Like looking out because I have my garage door open. Looking out here, you can see that they can almost fit two houses on one lot because there's my backyard and then these new houses are butted up against it. So smaller lots, lots of competition. But congratulations on your retirement. Thank you for 20 plus years of service to this country. Appreciate that. Enjoy your retirement. Shit, you earned it. And if nothing else, you get to catch my live. Nicole, what's going on? Yeah, all right, cool. Shout out to everybody in the comments once again. I thank you. So Jason says, my two sisters are terminal TDS and they think it's all been losing. You can't tell them anything different. Yeah, man, and it sucks because they're your people. They're your sisters. You guys grew up together. You came from the same house. What happened to them? But the only thing you can do is not give up because something, and not necessarily anything bad, it could be something really good. They could start making a lot of money. They could have more opportunities, and they just might tie it to Trump. And you just might have the day where they come up to you and they say, hey, how you doing, Jason? You were right. Now, Jason, then you'd have a choice to make. Do you say, yeah, right? It's not bad, right? I told you, it's all good. Or you could take the I told you so, rub it in their face. You know, when like a dog pisses or shits in the house, you might see somebody rub their nose in it. You could do that to them. And I support you either way. Take the high road or the low road. I'm with you, Jason. Bankhead One, thank you. He says, huge fan from OKC. Appreciate it, man. Antonia says he's suffering the same. His sisters are suffering the same TDS. I hope it's not terminal though. Mary, what's up? Annie's burnt candle. What's going on? Yeah, we'll get to that. Daphne says, be humble, Jason. I don't know. Like I said, I support you either way. Will King, what's up? He says, my immediate family has TDS, but many of my nieces and nephews are straight MAGA. Yeah, there's hope, man. There's hope. All you can do is be there for them when they finally, when their fever breaks and they come back to reality. That's all you can do is just be there for them. Because changing their mind, forget it, man. Jerome Strack says, ¿Qué pasa, Erico? ¿Qué pasa, güey? Michael Marone, what's up? He said, Jericho, I'm actually a realtor in Florida. The Fed interest rate does not directly influence mortgage rates. The 10-year bonds are a better metric, and China get a backhanded thing in this whole trade. Okay, I'll start looking into that. Thank you, Michael. This trade war, try offering closing costs and rate buy downs. That might actually be a better strategy than reducing the price. Okay. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. I will definitely do that. Steve, what's up from Cincinnati? WKRP. Michelle says, what is TDS? It's Trump derangement syndrome. The people who, no matter what Trump does, he's bad, he's Hitler, he's evil, he's racist, he's misogynist, grab women by the pussy. The people who believe all of that shit. No matter how many videos you show them of the rest of what he said or the clip of this, and this is what really happened, it just doesn't penetrate. It's like they have a condom over their brain and you're trying to, and it's just bouncing off the latex. Monica says, love listening to you, fan from North Kakalaka. The statue name of the black woman in New York City, the fuck, have me rolling. Keep up the good work, my friend. Yeah, that's we might get to that too. But yeah, that 12-foot statue they erected. Wish there was a different word they could use because the adolescent boy in me chuckles every time I say erected. But the statue that they put up in Times Square, I said, because it's a chubby, angry black woman like that. I was talking to a friend of mine about this the other day, and I was like, that's what they chose. A fat, angry black woman. And I said, it looked like that statue should have been named the fuck. Because that's the expression on her face. You couldn't have her in a beautiful dress or some kind of business attire or slim and beautiful. There's a thought. There are a lot of in shape, attractive black women in the world, but you had to pick fucking Marsha Warfield. You had to pick Marsha Warfield to model that statue after. And of course, it's a fucking Brit, not even an American artist. It's so it's and not say they're bad people, but maybe you don't have your finger on the pulse of America like an American artist would have. But he's done that shit around the world. There are a few other countries where they have the black woman, and she's always escaping slavery or some bullshit like that. Like black folks' entire history in this country it's either slavery or Jim Crow. That's it. We went from one bad thing to another. It's always stress and strife and being beat down by the man in the world, and nobody respects me. It's the way they look at me. Bone says, I thought that was Letitia James at first. No, I think that's an insult to that statue, personally. Because like Fred Sanford said, she has a face that should be used to make gorilla cookies. Get the fuck out of here. That's what you chose. Everything black is always some struggle and strife. It's never success. That's why I always recommend to people, shout out to my man, Chad O. Jackson, producer, director with Jason Malone, shout out to him too, of Uncle Tom 2. You have to see that because that shows you the real history of black folks in this country. It shows you the real all these events they tell you about, like Black Wall Street. It's all Black Wall Street. The white men came riding and marauding through town and burned everything to the ground, and the black folks just shivered in the light of the flames of their businesses and homes being burned to the ground. It's not true. Black folks, they were slaves and went right into Jim Crow. Not true. It shows you image after image, footage after footage of black people being successful, owning businesses, having families, being happy, dressing well, suits, ties, dresses, hats, nice cars, nice lives. That's the truth. Everybody has a blemish on their history here in this country. Everybody does. It doesn't matter what color you are, black, white, yellow, whatever. The Chinese people used to come over here when they were building the railroads. If they had to blast side of the mountain or something for a tunnel, they would take a Chinese dude, tie him to a rope. Daphne says, have you seen Sinners? No, I don't want to see that shit because that's just some more white people are bad, black people are fucking downtrodden shit. I don't even want to see it. If I do, it'll be just to shit on it in a review. But they would take the Chinese dude, tie him to a rope, lower him over the side of the mountain. He plants the dynamite, lights it, and they pull him back up. Sometimes they pulled him up in time. Sometimes they just pulled up a smoking rope. Hand me another Chinaman. Everybody had that shit. The Italians, the fucking Irish. Everybody had some bad shit. Everybody had a rough time when they got here. You think the Italians came through Ellis Island and there was just this fucking group of Italians? Hey, paisan, over here, poopada, poopada, poopada. And they were just welcome with fucking pasta and prosperity? No. You think the Irish people got here from Ireland? And there was just fucking St. Patrick's Day parade waiting for, oi, where's me Portugal? Come here, laddie. And they just gave him a pint of Guinness and started playing the bagpipes? No. Everybody had it tough here. Black folks are no different. Oh, Mr. Mac 25. Now, Mr. Mac 25, when I get in that ass like a bike with no seat, don't just be quiet and disappear and don't answer my questions. But you clearly want to come in here and start some shit. Shut up, Uncle Ruckus. Man, at least be original. Take whatever brain is left in inside that head of yours and at least try to be original. Uncle Ruckus, let me guess, I'm a coon too and I'm a bootlicker. Man, shut the fuck up. You might as well have wrote, hey, Jericho, I'm a fucking idiot. Because that's the same thing as you calling me Uncle Ruckus. And I think shut has a T in it, not a D. You fucking tard. Hey, Jericho, shut up. What's shud? I know it sounds like shut up. Have you never written the word shut up before? You never read them? Why'd you write shut up? It's shut with a T, you fuck. What do you have to say about that? Explain yourself. Why are you calling me an Uncle Tom? Why don't you try to combat my ideas and engage in debate instead of this weak attempt at name calling? Like that was weak as fuck. If that was a drink, it would be like a fuzzy navel wine cooler from Bartles and James. That's how weak that shit was. Shut up. Hey, you guys, shut up. That's different than shut up. Shut up is whatever, but if somebody tells you to shut up, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. If somebody tells you shut up, watch out. There's going to be a fist flying after that, idiot. Let's see. Walking Boss Underwood says, but they invented everything. That's another thing. You got these fools online talking about black folks invented this and black folks invented that and the cell phone and the traffic light. Then why'd you let somebody take it from you? Because when you say that, it makes me think that black folks were just these geniuses coming up with all it here. Here's a cell phone. Here's a traffic light. Here's this. Here's that. Here's radio waves. Here's windshield wipers. All of these things. Why are you letting people take those patents from you and make tons of money off of it and take credit for it? Either you're lying or black folks are a bunch of fucking idiots who are just giving away their intellectual property for free like a moron. What the fuck? That's so dumb. That is so dumb. Oh, black folks invented. Then why'd you let somebody take it from you, take the credit and the money, idiot? Mr. Mac 25, where are you? I told you not to go anywhere after you've been admonished. And if you have a tough time with shut instead of shud, then you have no idea what admonish is. You have no idea what that means. That's Kenny Rowe. That's another thing. Every kings and queens, fucking shut up. Nobody's from kings and queens. There might be a king or a queen somewhere down the line, but you're not a direct descendant of royalty. Fucking shut. And what other group does that? Mr. Mac 25, where are you? Where are you? You're gone now? You just came in with your little, shut up, Uncle Ruckus, and you left? I figured. You know what, Silverback, I think I have a Discord. I obviously haven't been on there in a long time. But I don't know. And even if I did, that fool, he ain't gonna, come on, he wouldn't show up. People who start off with quote unquote insults, they're not ready. The water's too deep. I'm in the deep end of the pool and they're scared to get out of the kiddie end, the 3 feet. They wouldn't do it. They don't have the equipment. Whew, I'm in here sweating like a hooker in church. I was mowing my lawn before I started the live stream. It's like 80 degrees outside. But living where I live, 80 degrees, that's just the beginning. That's just the tip, right, ladies? Just let me put the tip in. Just the tip. Yeah, I think by the end of next week, we're going to be sniffing 100. Bone says, Jericho, you hurt his feelings. Well, you hurt mine first. Plain and simple. What up? Thank you, Abby. She says, I'm late, but hey, Creole lady. Oh, okay. What's up? Welcome back. Good to see you. It's been a long time. Long time. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you for your generosity. Yeah, man, I can't stand that bullshit. I didn't come from no fucking kings and queens. I'm okay with admitting that. I'm not of royalty. I have no regal blood in my veins. That's fine. So, one thing I do want to talk about. Let's start with Abby. Hey, What was the name on that brain that I just put inside of that thing? It was Abby something. Abby normal. Abby normal. Hanging with KH. What's up? Awesome to see you live. Oh, hold on. The comments just jumped. This comment section is like self. I can't do. Awesome to see you live. My husband and I are longtime friends. We both have worn our old t-shirts out. Guess we'll need new ones. Great to see you. Yes, you do need new ones, and I thank you very much to you and your husband for sticking around long enough for those shirts to get faded. Appreciate that. Abby normal. Time. Says, hey, Jericho, keep on kicking ass. I love your content. I'm 61 years old, and you put it out like it is. Love it. Thank you. Appreciate that. Viv Savage 13. I'll never be tired of winning, ever. Me neither. And the more wins, we keep stacking them up. Not only in front of the world, but in front of the idiots in our own country who just don't want it. You don't want victory. You don't want prosperity. I mean, I know it's coming from Hitler, but you don't want it? It's a good thing. You should still take it. Speaking of Hitler, actually, plain and simple truth, I started in 2018. I don't know why YouTube says that. If you look on it, it'll say I started in like April of 2015, but I didn't. I don't know where that's from. I don't know how that got generated. Did I somehow do that or forget to put in the real date? I don't know, but I didn't start my YouTube channel until June of 2018. So I'll be coming up on 7 years next month. But let's talk about a hot button issue that's fresh off the press right now. Let me punch in two names: Trump, Comey. That's it. Bam. So if you guys, I'm trying to find an upstanding news outlet to read this article from. I'm just kidding. That doesn't exist. But occasionally I do like to pull from like the really crazy, like NPR or CNN or some shit like that, just to see, should check in on the enemy. But it says James Comey under investigation for seashell threat to Trump. I know that title is weird, but that's what it is. Trump administration officials vowed to investigate former FBI Director James Comey, alleging that a now deleted social media post from him amounted to a full-throated threat against the president. On Thursday, Comey posted on Instagram a photo of seashells on a beach that were arranged to form the message 8647, an apparent reference to the 47th president. Cool shell formation on my beach walk, Comey's caption read. The term 86 is a standard in the restaurant industry, typically using a mean getting rid of or nixing something. But Donald Trump and members of his inner circle saw Comey's post as something more ominous, a direct threat against the president's life. Now, this is from Donald Trump Jr., Trump's son. It says, here, let me share it with you so you can see what I'm talking about. You can see the shells, see the seashells by the seashore. So there it is, 8647. It says, just James Comey casually calling for my dad to be murdered. This is who the Dem media worships. Demented. So that's what Donald Trump Jr. posted. It says Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem denounced the post and indicated that her department would be investigating Comey. Disgraced former FBI Director James Comey just called for the assassination of @POTUS Trump. DHS and Secret Service is investigating this threat and will respond appropriately. In a statement, FBI Director Kash Patel confirmed that the agency is aware of Comey's social media posts. We are in communication with the Secret Service and Director Curran. Primary jurisdiction is with Secret Service on these matters, and we, the FBI, will provide all necessary support. Tulsi Gabbard, the Director of National Intelligence, took it one step further, saying Comey should be jailed for issuing a hit on President Trump. We've already seen assassination attempts. I'm very concerned for his life, she said on Fox News, and James Comey, in my view, should be held accountable and put behind bars for this. Ooh. So let me take the temperature in the room. Let me see in the comments first. What do you guys think? Do you think, and then I'll give my opinion, but do you think that that's what he meant? 86-47. Do you think that he meant Trump needs to be killed? And I hope by saying that, Secret Service doesn't come investigate me. But is that what you think? What do you think? Yes or no? Do you think that was a threat on his life? Daphne says, yep. Chris Park and Ride, I'm so mad. So I'm guessing you think that was a threat. Abby says, heck yeah. Metal Metal's wife, what's up? T. Dye says, yes. Comey should be arrested for lying to Congress. Well, that just depends on who lies. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Chris Parkenright says no. 86 just means to get him out. Poem Padgett says yes. Carlos says yes. Okay. So it seems like most people are saying yes. Chris Parkenright is saying no. And I think I agree with Chris. I don't think that this was calling for his assassination. I think obviously everybody knows what it means to 86 somebody. If you've been 86th, that means you've been kicked out. It's like, oh man, I got 86 from the bar, or I got 86 from the club. That means you get kicked out and you can't come back. Now, is Comey a lying piece of shit? Yeah, and he should have been put in jail for other stuff, like someone just said, for lying to Congress. But in light of things, thank you, Chris. In light of things, what's the assassination attempt that was perpetrated on his life? Thank God it didn't work. Had he not turned his head at the right moment, we all know. Matter of fact, let's since we're talking about that, why don't we relive this moment for a second?
Take a look at what happened.
Right? So had he not turned his head at that exact moment, the second president to be assassinated in front of cameras. And I think that's what they wanted. They wanted him to have his brains blown out in front of the biggest audience possible. But I don't think that Comey meant for him to be killed. I think that meant, that he meant to get Trump out. But in light of things, in light of what we just watched, the second assassination attempt at the golf course where they caught the guy, that could put a battery in somebody's back to do something crazy, yes. But I don't think even if that did happen that you should blame Comey for that, because again, it doesn't matter what somebody says or what they post. That doesn't mean for somebody's crazy ass to go out there and do it. Debbie, you heard. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Bone says, if reports said 86 potato head, what would you think? I would think the same thing. Get him out of here. Throw him out. Remove him. I think that's what it meant. Was it smart to post that? No. But I don't think it was a death threat. I don't. I just don't. When I first saw it, that's not what came to mind. Cinny Minnie, that's a funny name, says, come on, Green. They all want Trump dead. They want to keep their Diddy parties going. I agree 100%. Hell yeah, they want him dead. They tried to have him shot and killed. I agree with that 100%. But I'm saying in this particular instance with James Comey, I don't think that's what he meant. And in a weird way, if that's what he wanted to do, I would hope he'd do a better job than that, if it makes sense. Like if you're going to say it, say it. LDS, German Shepherd boy, what up? Long time no see. Great to have you back, he says. What up, Uncle JG? Love the show. Sending good vibes from Utah, man. Appreciate that. Good to see you again. Cody says he definitely was trying to get brownie points with the lefties and was saying get rid of him anyway. Yeah, for sure. He was trying to carry favor with the turds on the left, the communist pinko pieces of shit, of course. But I don't think that's what he was calling for. He was just saying get rid of him, I think. But hey, Elroy, what's up? But I hope they're done trying to take his life. Daphne, 1776, I appreciate you. Thank you for being here as long as you could. Peace out. Be safe. I hope they're done. I hope they don't try to do that again, because how awful would that be to have a president assassinated? It would be awful for the country, even more awful for his family. I think that J.D. Vance would come in hot. And I think that whoever did that would be brought to justice. I don't think they would have it any easier or any better with J.D. Vance in office. It's not like, hey, we get rid of Trump and J.D. Vance, he won't be so bad. I think J.D. Vance in their eyes would be worse. In our eyes, he could be even better. But man, you guys remember? It was crazy enough when they almost killed Trump. Imagine how it would be if they did. And unfortunately, there is still a demographic of people still alive in this country, my mom included, who were alive when Kennedy was shot. So there are people in this country who do know what that feels like to see their president murdered on TV. And I don't want to join that group. I don't. Chozo Ghost, what up, man? Oh, man. Says 86 Comey. I mean, what? Yeah, 86 is bitch ass too. Somebody says that he has a book. So, you know, these people are turds, wrapped in turds and stuff with turds. Yeah, Mental Medalist's wife, he's promoting a book. These people are pieces of shit. Oh, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, they're turds wrapped in turds with turd filling. Those pieces of shit. Poem Paget says, I love how JD has performed thus far. However, his close ties to Peter Thiel and early opinions of Donald Trump are unsettling, in my opinion. I understand. I understand. See, thank you. William Vasquez, 86 BlackRock. Man, if only. If only we could. But that right there, I don't know if that one would happen, because BlackRock has it deep in the world. They got it almost to the bristle up the world's ass. So I don't know. So yeah, that's what I think of Comey and his 86-47. A call for his assassination, I don't think so. But to curry favor, and he probably does. You know, he wouldn't surprise me if he really did have a book coming out. He's just a piece of shit. That's all. But I don't think it was a death threat. But speaking of death threats, so you have the South African refugees, I think it was 55 of them that Trump allowed into the country, and the left just lost their fucking mind. They just lost their mind that Trump would allow white South Africans in our country. How dare you, sir? And you have people who are actually saying that Trump let these 55, not even a busload of people, let 55 white South Africans in here so they could outpopulate colored people? Yes. People were really saying that Trump allowed these 55 white South Africans into our country to start populating and make more white people in America. That's what they really said with their mouths, with a straight face. That this is how Trump is going to make white people or ensure that white people are the dominant race in our country is to bring a handful of them. White South Africans arrive in the U.S. as refugees protected under Trump's carve-out. Well, let's see. American officials welcomed a group of 59 white South Africans at Washington Dulles International Airport, International Airport on Monday afternoon in a ceremony greeting them as refugees based on the argument that they are fleeing discrimination and racially based violence in their home country. The new arrivals are from the Afrikaner minority, the white ethnic group that ruled South Africa during apartheid. The dozens that came Monday, including families with young children, arrived on a flight chartered by the State Department. Their settlement in the U.S. comes as Trump's administration has shut down refugee admissions from almost all other countries, including Afghanistan, Sudan, the Republic of Congo, and Myanmar. The Afrikaners, every time I say that word, it reminds me of Lethal Weapon 2. Diplomatic immunity. The Afrikaners were met on arrival by U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Landau and Department of Homeland Security Deputy Secretary Troy Edgar. Landau said that Trump's pause of the U.S. refugee program was from the very beginning, subject to exceptions when it was determined to be in the interest of the United States. He cited that the example of when the refugees could be assimilated easily into our country. Okay, so what I'm trying to do, okay, let me come back. Hold on a second. We'll do this. I'll put, because of that video in the beginning on that website, it had a video of them getting off of the plane, and I want you to see what these people were carrying in their hands, because you don't see this too often when we're talking about refugees coming to our country, escaping war-torn scenarios. You know, we're always told that these people are escaping murder and corruption and poverty, and we have to let these people in here because look at them. We're America. We have so much. We shouldn't even have borders. Everybody should just be allowed to come through here. Just treat it like an open air market. Like, come in when you want, leave when you want. Don't leave if you don't want. So here are the small group of these 59 white South Africans. And what are they holding in their hands? What are those disgusting, terrible, awful, racist, colonist things that they're holding in their hands? They're holding American flags. So I asked you this question: when's the last time you saw a group of refugees coming in this country waving flags in their hands? Because all of the refugees and asylum seekers that I've seen in the recent past have been carrying things, but none of them were American flags. And in some cases, they were the flags from the countries they're escaping. How dare you? That's the same as them walking up and giving you a hawk tua right in your face. You have the nerve, the gall to escape that shit stain of a country you come from, and you come here waving those flags? You piece of shit. But these people come waving American flags. And what does that mean? What does that mean when you come to America as a refugee waving the American flag? It means a couple things. Number one, it means that you appreciate it. It means that you are thankful for us opening our country to you. It also means that there's a very good chance that you are going to assimilate into our country and our culture. You are going to adopt our beliefs and adopt our way of lives and join the fabric of America. Not try to do your own thing, not bring the ways of your fucked up country up here. You are going to assimilate to our ways of doing things. You want to be an American. I've been saying this for years. The people who come here legally, they want to be in America. They don't want to be American. These people want to be American. Their mouths are salivating for a slice of apple pie. And if you want to go a la mode, put a scoop of vanilla ice cream on it. They can't wait for it. They can't wait to go to the baseball games. They can't wait to learn the words to the national anthem. I wouldn't even be surprised if these people already know the words to the national anthem. And what are these people escaping? because we've only heard people say that, oh, they're coming. Trump wants to bring them here to make more white people, which is so fucking stupid. Because why would you bring 60 of them? Meanwhile, our country's been invaded with 20 million of them over the last 4 years. But anyway, these guys are the problem. This tiny little handful of white Africans, they're the problem. Not the 20 million coming from pick your country, insert shitty country here. So what are they escaping? They're escaping murder. They're escaping genocide. They're escaping rape. You read some of the stories of what happens to these white farmers, because in South Africa, it is now legal for Black Africans to take that land back. They can come up to a white farmer and take their land. Now, do they come up to him and ask them nicely? Maybe in some cases, but from the stories I read, it usually starts with murder, or it starts with rape and then murder, and then unspeakable things that they do to these people's babies. Just read them. I'm not even going to say it. It's utterly disgusting. Legal Alien, what's up? Says, what's up, Senior Jericho? I wish every libtard would wake up tomorrow morning conservative. Oh my goodness, that's there's a genie somewhere saying I can't even do that shit. But wouldn't it be nice? But the unspeakable, horrible, monstrous, barbaric things that are done to these people, but because they're white, nobody gives a fuck. You have is it the president of South Africa? I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong. But you have this leader. He's in front of a crowd of people in the tens of thousands. It's a huge group of people. And he's basically shouting, kill the white people. Kill, like that Eddie Murphy skit from SNL when he was that reggae group. And he had that song, kill the white people. Oh. If you've seen that, you know what I'm talking about. But this, yeah, okay, it was the president. So this fool's basically up there doing this chant, kill the white people, kill the white people. What? What? So, as I've said before, even here in America, where you have this group of fucking idiots who are, oh my God, reparations. Where was it? I just saw somewhere where some state, they just gathered task force to look into reparations. I'm like, you fucking idiots. Ooh, another task force to look into something you're not going to get. That's like hiring somebody to go, what's inside Fort Knox? Well, who cares? You're not going to get any of it. Who do you care? You ain't getting no fucking reparations. You already got them. You're living reparations every day. Let's see. Chozo Go says, that being said, I think even South Africa's current president, Cyril Ramaphosa, has praised Julius as a potential future leader of the country. So, yeah, take that as you will. Who's Julius? Oh, that's right, Sonny Singh. Believe it. But you have the president chanting shit like that? This is fucking insane, man. Insane. But you have people here. Okay, Julius Malema. Oh, who the fuck is that? Hold on a second. Julius Malema. Oh, so he's a South African politician. Young man, he's my age. Julius Malema, South African politician, leader of the Economic Freedom, Communist Party, known for its red berets. He was formerly the president of ANC Youth League. So he was from the Communist Party. He sounds like a piece of shit like the other guy. But you have, okay, Julius is the guy in the stadium. Okay. Well, if he's being praised by the South African president, then they are both pieces of shit. But for that to even be allowed is crazy. But people here in America, you know, who are, oh, we need reparations. And we at some point, somebody has to say, we forgive you. Or that's water under the bridge. Let's let bygones be bygones. The South Africans have to say that. The Black Americans in this country have to say that. That's the only way it's going to end. There were terrible things back in the apartheid and all the horrible things they would do to the black Africans, which was kind of weird because unlike America, in America, black folks are what, 12% of the population because we just can't stop killing each other, whether in or out of the womb. But in South Africa, it was by far black Africans, way more black Africans than white Africans. So why did you let them do that? I'm not saying what they did was right, but why did you let them do it? Why would you let a tiny group of people rule you with such impunity? Why wouldn't you stand up, organize, and take your country back? There's way more. It was like 10 to 1, 8, 9, 10 to 1. Why wouldn't you do that? But no matter what, it's in the past. So you need to say, all right, we forgive, or let's forgive and forget. Let's move on. Why don't you teach us the ways of farming? Why don't you show us the ways of your farming, why you're so successful farming? Help us with our infrastructure. But what's in the past is in the past. Somebody has to drop that shit and let it go. That's the only way that you're going to get past it. But they won't do that. They can't. You know the source of power they have in calling, screaming racism, screaming victimhood, crying about the past. You know what kind of power? Not only power, but money. You know what kind of moolah they get from this bullshit? Tony Hannaflin, what's up? Appreciate you being here. That's a lot of damn money, people. You want to give that up. You know what kind of lifestyle they've built? You know, with the kind of money that they're getting? That's a lot. And the kind of power. The power that they wield with fear. You go back to, who was that? Tawana Brawley. I can't remember if that was in New York or not. But with Tawana Brawley, you had her, a black woman, claiming that these police officers did the most unspeakable things to her, including urination, defecation. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. But the kind of power that and influence that they wielded with that, the Coca-Cola, Jesse Jackson were threatening Coca-Cola with strikes because they weren't selling the Coca-Cola products in the right black areas and offering jobs and all this bullshit. But with these companies being afraid to be called the R word, that's a lot of power for these people. They're not willing to easily give that up. Calling racism, claiming to be a victim, talking about slavery and apartheid, that shit's powerful. And power, you know, is very intoxicating. It's addictive. It's addictive. You walk around chest out. Nobody's going to fuck with you. Nobody's going to test you. They don't want to be called a racist. Not a racist. Uh-oh. Worst thing ever. But what's going to happen is, it's like the scene from What's Love Got to Do with It. You guys ever seen that movie? It's a story about Tina Turner and her tumultuous relationship with Ike Turner, her husband at the time. Ike Turner used to whoop her ass. So one day, I don't know if they were going into an award show or something like that, but Tina got sick of it. And she grabbed a champagne bottle and got to working upside of Ike's head because she got sick of it. She got sick and tired of it. So she started whooping Ike's ass. So what's going to happen in this country is that people are going to get sick of it. People are going to get sick and tired of being called racist. They're going to get sick and tired of people claiming to be victims and sick and tired about hearing about all this old shit that happened a long time ago that these people had nothing to do with. They don't even feel that way. They're upset at their ancestors for being that way, just like you are. But when people get sick of something, that's when shit starts changing. And when people get sick of it, when they get sick, well, you hear that now. You're hearing black fatigue. You're going to hear that more and more and more. It's going to be popping up everywhere. Then pretty soon you're going to hear it everywhere. And once you start hearing it everywhere, that's going to be when people are sick of that shit. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the end of this. I'm looking forward to not hearing about black women every fucking day. I'm looking forward to not hearing about slavery or Jim Crow or systemic racism and all this bullshit. I'm so fucking tired of it. So black fatigue, hurry up. Crusoe 14 says, first time in the chat from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Great show from your Sicilian paisan over here. Thanks, man. Appreciate that, Crusoe. But yeah, man, it's gonna happen. It's happening. It's happening right now. You're gonna hear about it. It's gonna start popping up more and more. The Marsh says, I'm fatigued with black fatigue already. I'm fatigued with racism in general, right? I don't even think racism is a problem. It's people constantly fucking talking about it. That's what I'm sick of. Racism, that shit don't exist. I just don't. And if it does, I don't see it. When I'm out in public, I don't get looks. If I do, I don't fucking notice. I remember as a kid, my dad couldn't care less what he looked like. As far as his clothes, of course, he would shave and have his hair cut. But his clothes, man, he did not give a shit what he wore. My dad's uniform on the daily was usually some coveralls, some boots. One pant leg might be in the boot. The other pant leg might be over the boot. Some hat he got for free. Probably some of his friends like pick and pull. You know, you go to the junkyard, take parts off the cars. That's what my dad would wear. My dad didn't give a shit. And so my well, I can't remember where we were. And I was a kid. I was probably 10, 11, 12 or something like that. And I was like, Dad, like, I don't remember my exact words, but basically what I was trying to convey to him was, don't you care like what you look? What if people, you know, say something or whatever? My dad basically said, I don't give a damn what these people think. He said, I wear what I want. And if they're not paying my bills, I could care less. And that stuck with me. And of course, as a child, you know, in school, especially junior high and high school, oh my God, what people think and the clothes and the cool and all that stuff, that means everything to you. But once you become an adult, man, you don't give a damn. Nobody, no stranger's gonna come up to you and say, oh my God, look at your shoes or your pants. That shit don't happen. That shit does not happen. So who cares? If I am getting looks or whatever, I don't even see it. I don't give a shit. I'm not looking for it. And I think that's how it is for most people. There's no fucking racism. Who experiences racism? And usually if somebody has, oh, well, they looked at me or I was walking around, they were staring at me, that's racism? That's, man, we're doing pretty good if somebody looking at you is the extent of American racism. And who cares? Who fucking cares? Who are they? These people they mean nothing to you. They mean absolutely nothing to you. Fucking ridiculous, man. I'm so tired of this shit. Come, black fatigue, hurry up. Get here. I'm there. I'm waiting for you. I'm on the fucking, what do they call that? I'm on the platform waiting for the black fatigue train to get here. I've been here. Shit. So tired of that bullshit. Oh, let's talk about this National Homeless Veteran Center. Duh. What the fuck? Why wasn't this a thing? Why hasn't this been a thing already forever? I don't understand that. Let's see. I just don't understand why no other president has floated this idea. And it's going to be in Western or West Hollywood, I think. Is it West Hollywood? It's LA somewhere. So let's pull up and read about this shit because that sounds like a great idea. We'll go to military.com. If military.com doesn't have the latest on this, then nobody does. Nobody does. Trump orders VA to build homeless veteran center on West LA campus. And I'm guessing it probably won't cost us any money. President Donald Trump signed an executive order Friday that aims to create a center for homeless veterans in Los Angeles and to improve medical care across the Department of Veteran Affairs. The order calls for constructing a national center for warrior independence on the campus of the West Los Angeles VA Medical Center that will provide housing and services to 3,000 homeless veterans currently in Los Angeles, with a goal to eventually house 6,000 veterans. Now, before I move on, this is done through executive order. So if and when the Democrats ever get power again, do you think that they wouldn't undo this executive order? The West Los Angeles campus includes a 388-acre tract that was donated in 1888 to house disabled veterans. Its future was embroiled in ongoing litigation between advocates for homeless veterans and the federal government, which earns revenue from the property by leasing a portion of it to UCLA baseball team, a private school, and other private companies. In the executive order, Trump said the property should have facilities to help our veterans earn back their self-sufficiency, providing housing, substance abuse, or addiction treatment, and opportunities to return to productive work and community engagement. Trump required that a plan for the center be drafted within 120 days and that the center be able to house up to 6,000 veterans by January 21st, 2028. Our nation's security, prosperity, and freedom would not be possible without our veterans. Many service members pay the ultimate sacrifice. Many others bear visible and invisible wounds from their service. Too many veterans are homeless in America. Each veteran deserves our gratitude according to the text of Trump's executive order. The order indicates a shift in the federal government's intentions for the property. The California appeals court heard arguments last month in an ongoing lawsuit by homeless advocates who seek to end the lease to private tenants and use the land for housing the homeless. A judge previously had ruled last year that the VA must build 1,800 permanent housing units on the ground, but the department appealed the decision. The appellate court has not yet issued its decision, but in a statement Friday following the release of the executive order, VA Secretary Doug Collins said the leases constituted decades of mismanagement. Today's executive order will enable to ensure the VA's West Los Angeles campus will be used as intended to benefit veterans. This is something I don't understand. Now, when you look at something like being the president, you think that, yeah, he can go in and just do this and do that, and make shit happen. And then when you get there, it might be different. I think this happened to Trump in his first term, that he went in thinking one thing and got there and realized it was something totally different. Okay, that's fine. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't have those powers. So you see, if Trump can do this with executive order, other presidents could have as well. And what I like about this is that in that executive order, they have to start getting shit done now. They need to have the spots for 6,000 veterans by January 1st, 2028. Not start by then. They have to be done. You have 120 days. That's 4 months. No. 3 months. My bad. 3 months. You got 3 months to come up with a plan. That's plenty of time if you start getting your shit done right now. That's what I like about this. Get shit started. Let's start doing this now. We're not going to put this off for the next administration or another 4 years. Get this shit done now. And I like that in that executive order, it's not a place for the veterans to come and die there. This isn't permanent residence. This is to get them the tools that they need to rejoin society as a productive member. I don't think these veterans want to be taken care of to the grave. I don't think they want to be suckling from the federal teat until they die. I think they want to get help. I think that they want to get the tools that they need to be productive members. Now, does every single veteran want that? No. There's something I learned when I joined the military. There are pieces of shit in the military too. But those who want to get their shit together, who want to get help, who want those tools, it will be there for them. And that's the least we can do. The least we can do for our veterans is make it so that when they come back from a war zone protecting us, that they can become one of us. They can rejoin us back in society, put together as well as possible. You know, some of the damage they come back with can't be undone completely, but we need to undo what we can. We need to give them the opportunity to fix these problems if they want to. That's the least we could do. So as far as the money from UCLA, from their baseball team, hey, Tough Titty said to Kitty, you're going to have to get that shit somewhere else. Mental Medalist's wife, got to get on the road. Be safe. Buckle that seatbelt. Keep those hands at 10 and 2. But I'm glad. Take care of these veterans. Fuck UCLA. They got tons of money. Tell them to ask their donors or their alums. They can pay for that shit. Their baseball team can practice somewhere else. A president that takes care of the veterans. Wow, that's crazy. What a novel idea. Let's see. Barry, POS Sotoro. With a name like that, how do you have a question like this? So it's Trump's second term, giving known criminals and traitors a free pass. How is this winning? Who are these known criminals and traitors? And what free pass are they getting? Barry. Come on, Barry. Type. How is he giving known criminals and traitors a free pass? And what is this free pass? While we're waiting for Barry's response, AOC, Loco Cortez, you motherfuckers, her womb is so loaded. She can have my fucking baby, man. She's leveling threats. Ooh. None the Miser, what up, man? Says he's talking about Scott Bessent. He worked for GS. Okay. So get rid of that. Secretary of the Treasury. What'd he do? Scott Bessent. He looks like he would play the smug asshole who finally gets punched in his face at the end of the movie. You know what I mean? Like he's been making comments and stuff through the whole movie, and he's always trying to get the good guy, the hero. And so finally, after the final shootout where the cops show up late all the time, and somebody's sitting on the back bumper of an ambulance with that green wool blanket wrapped around him, and the Scott Bessent looking guy would come up and say, "Hey, this is out of your jurisdiction. You're not supposed to be here." And then the action star, whether it be Stallone, "Hey, you, maybe you're not supposed to be here." He goes up, boom, knocks that dude out. That's what Scott Bessent looks like. Oh. But I'm back to the comment section. So let's see. Bessent is one of the best picks, or Chozogo says Bessent is one of the best picks Trump's made. Dude is the one who broke the British pound back in the day. He's a financial wizard. Hey, that's what he looks like. It's funny. But I'm looking, okay. Barry, where you at? I'm still looking for you, Barry. What's with people coming in, making these comments, and leaving? Johnny Kelly says, but he's doing a great job, so who cares who he worked for? I mean, yeah, man. Handle your biz, sweet mama G. If he's doing a great job, and I mean, I don't know. I just need to know more about him. So just because he worked for George Soros, I mean, how closely? Well, what did he do for him? Dwayne Erickson, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Powder's always dry out here in California if we're allowed to buy it. Poem Paget says he's a alphabet soup group member. Okay. That's not a disqualifier. There's a lots of alphabet soup group members out there. That's cool. I mean, as long as he doesn't lead with that, as long as it's not his identity, whatever. Poem Paget said he was one of his top advisors. Okay. He's doing a great job for us now. I don't know. Let's see. But I do know about this story right here. This woman is crazy. Oh, AOC. Remember she just came on the scene? We're like, who is this ex-bartender from New York? And now she's everywhere. Let's see. Not on, I guess it doesn't matter. I was trying to get here we go. Okay, here we go. We got her. Shout out to whoever's page this is from. Vince. Thank you, Vince. So here's AOC doing her best bad girl. What's up, Mark Coniglio? Okay. So let's get AOC up here doing her best tough girl. Huh? Ooh, AOC. When AOC gets mad, you get scared. Here we go. Oh, volume would help.
Congress, it's the Department of Homeland Security. It's people like Tom Homan and Secretary Kristi Noem.
Wrong.
You lay a finger
Wrong.
on someone, on Representative Bonnie Watson Coleman, on Representative, or any of the representatives that were there, you lay a finger on them, we're going to have a problem.
Yeah, it's a great point. She doesn't even know who they are. Or like any of them, or okay, well, like anybody, senator or whatever, we're gonna have a problem. What problem? We already have a problem, AOC. It's you. You're already a problem. Scooty Puff Jr. said I'd smash, but that's not saying much. There's not much a single man won't smash. But what does that mean? We're gonna have a problem. Man, what are you gonna do, AOC? I did a video on this yesterday. Are you gonna sick your ginger boyfriend who carries a Yorkie around? You gonna do that? And you have AOC and what's his name, Hakeem. I call him Hakeem Coming to America Jeffries because that was Eddie Murphy's name in that. Then let them wait. I'm talking to my son. So you have Hakeem Jeffries and AOC threatening ICE, threatening the Trump administration. Hakeem Jeffries said, there's a red line in it. You better not cross it. And the reporter says, well, what happens if they cross it? He says, you'll find out. Ooh. Yeah, Todd, she has a ginger boyfriend. He's a bitch. Not because he's a ginger, but what was his name? Alex Stein. Remember when he had that video saying, oh, look, she was going up the Capitol steps. Look, it's AOC, my favorite big booty Latina. And her fiance standing right there holding a small dog. So why would you stand there holding a small dog while somebody tells your fiance that they're her she's their favorite big booty Latina? Wouldn't that be a problem? Now, I'm not saying the ginger should have smashed them right there for it, but we definitely have some words. I'm not going to stand there and let you disrespect my woman. I don't care what her job is and because you can't just act a fool. You want to fuck her shit up. But yeah, we'd have some words. If you're talking about my wife's hindquarters, right? Any man would say something about that. I don't know. Maybe he's not a man. Maybe he identifies as something else. I don't know. But that's their threat because, and Hakeem Jeffries and AOC are threatening them because of what happened last week with the mayor of Newark and those congressmen and women who stormed the detention center because they just had to see if those kids were safe in there. And the mayor of Newark got arrested. One of the congresswomen, she assaulted one of the federal agents. I showed you a still pic of her with her hands around her neck. That's called choking. And nothing happened. They were all released. Now, I'm not saying go try this, but let's say in an imaginary world, in another dimension, you were confronted by federal agents and you put your hands around their neck. Do you think they would just keep talking to you and let you go? Because that's what the agent did. She just kept talking, didn't do anything. So I think there's a little bit of preferential treatment there. But if anything happens to them, we're going to have a problem. What, AOC? What the fuck are you going to do, you goofball? What power do you have? You guys don't have control of the House or the Senate. What does that even mean? If I were Tom Homan, or as I call him, Tom Mad Dog Homan, I'd start looking into the citizenship of the damn House and the Senate. Might find out some of you guys are illegal. Start with what's her name? Ilhan Omar, the Somali double agent, the woman who wears her hijab on the job. Why don't you start with her punk ass? Because I'm sure we can find some cracks in that armor and get her ass deported. Could you imagine? They had Ilhan Omar cuffed and stuff and send her ass back to Somalia. Boy, she would be mad as shit. You went from America, you went from wealthy America, powerful America, because somehow you stumbled into being a congresswoman. You went from that to Somalia? I'd be pissed. You go from shitting in a golden toilet to shitting in a hole in the ground, hoping a cobra doesn't bite you in your taint. If only. If I could find that genie, I got one more wish for you, buddy. Just send her ass back to Somalia, bitch. Oh, how pissed would you be? Send you to fucking Somalia, son of a bitch. Oh man. Hey, can we take care of a little business right now? And be sure to hit the link in the description box to get those American hands on some official green gear. Threatening. Fuck. So, Trump, the reason for this entire live stream here, Trump has been going around the world making deals, wheeling and dealing. What does Ric Flair say? Wheeling and dealing, jet flying, Rolex watch wearing. Woo! That's what Trump's been doing, going around the world. Lisa Stansfield, been around the world, and aye. So first, he came to an agreement with China, a 90-day pause on the 145% tariffs on Chinese goods. I think China had 125% on us. But for at least the next 90 days, those have been paused. We are trying to make a deal with China. They're still, 10%? They still have 10% tariffs on us, and we still have 30% tariffs on them. But the world, I should say the left side of the world, the left side of the aisle, their hair was on fire. They lost their minds. Oh, my God. 145% tariffs. The American consumer, they will be crushed under the weight of this. A recession is coming. Tariffs are a tax on the American consumer, and things that are going to be supply chain gaps. You mean like there was before when Sloppy Joe was in charge and that fucking alphabet soup group worthless boil on America's ass called Pete Buttigieg? You mean when they were fucking dumping baby formula in Mexico? Are you talking about that kind of supply chain gap, you idiot? So all these horrible things were supposed to happen because Trump was engaged in a tariff war with China. Turns out, what was that? 2 weeks later, if that, 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, the shit's over. There's a 90-day pause on it because China can't handle it. Nobody can handle it. We are the world consumers. We buy a lot of people's shit. 75% of Mexico's economy is based on us. 80% of Canada is based on us. Think of all the economies that we subsidize, all the things that we buy from other countries. And here's what's even worse. The things that we buy from countries where we're not allowed to sell our shit in, like China. Every fucking thing we have is made in China. What's made over there? You seen the video of that Chinese guy? He's like, I'm holding it right here in my hand. Everything in my house made in America. Nothing. Because there is nothing there. Because for some reason, every leader we've had in the past has been okay with buying all of China's shit and not selling our shit to them. Or buying all the shit from India and not being able to sell it to them. Or buying the shit from Vietnam and not being able to sell it to them. Are you kidding me? Oh, but Americans don't want to do that. They don't want the production here because what if your cell phone doubles in price? That's why we're going to reject our prosperities for the price of a cell phone. Huh? And then it was, even I was saying, it might have to be a little rough at first, but we'll get through it. Was it that rough? Or is it because I live out here in California and I'm used to overpaying for shit? Like right now, gas is over $5 a gallon in California. Maybe that's the only benefit. That's not the only benefit. One of the few economic benefits of living here. I've already been paying overpriced shit. I've already been paying high prices for everything. Real estate, clothes, fuel, food. So maybe I didn't feel the crunch out here like everybody else, but either way, the crunch is over. Nobody can sustain that shit. Kenneth Jackson, which food tastes better, American food or Chinese food? I'd have to say American food. But with RFK, our American food is going to get even better, getting all that bullshit out of it, all the carcinogens out of it. What a jerk. RFK, he's trying not to give us cancer. What a prick. Rex Rocker says, California is a beautiful land, but nobody wants to move here. It's because of the politics. If it was just based on the land, on the weather and the topography and all that shit, everybody would want to live in California. It's fucking beautiful. Everything you want. Deserts, mountains, snow, valleys, moderate temperatures, hot temperatures, whatever the fuck you want. California is beautiful. It's based on looks. California is fucking Selma Hayek in Dusk Till Dawn, pouring the tequila down her leg. That's what California is. Based on looks and land. Based on policy, we're more like Chris Rock in New Jack City. No, we're more like the crackhead in Menace to Society. I suck your dick. That's California, policy-wise. Yeah, Rex Rocker, Selma Hayek is still an attractive woman, but Dusk Till Dawn, 1996, come on. But that's what California is based on our looks. But the deals that Trump has been making around the world, China came to an agreement with them because they just can't handle it. They can talk all the shit they want. China's dealing with unemployment. They're dealing with inflation. You actually have Chinese citizens who are protesting. You know how bad it has to be for the people in a communist country to protest. Cody Utes, either one. If that's how I'm taking into the afterlife, come and get me. But they can't handle it. Certainly Canada can't. Certainly Mexico can't. So they're all going to cave. They're all going to come. They're all going to tuck their tails. Rick Spencer, what's up? Rick, you couldn't be more than a mile away from me in any direction in Plymouth Lake. Maybe 2. I'll give you 2 miles. But the world, they can't handle that because we buy too much of their shit. If you're selling something and all of a sudden your customers say, nope, then what are you going to do? You're going to lower your prices. You're going to do everything you can to get that customer to come back because you ain't selling shit. Your shelves are staying full. They're collecting dust. your shipping containers are getting rusty in the harbor. You park your car in the harbor yard. You parking your shipping containers in the harbor yard. Nobody's buying them. So now you're going to kiss up to your customer. And your customer is going to tug. We're going to tug down those American-made blue jeans, man. We're going to tug that down. And you're going to kiss our red, white, and blue ass. And we're going to have all these little lip prints on our ass. We're going to have Chinese lip prints and British lip prints from the UK. Vietnamese, Indian, everybody's going to be kissing our anus because you have to, because we either buy all your shit and or we protect you. We make it so the boogeyman stays at bay. You see that scary tree line over there in the distance? You see that over there, Simba? You see that elephant graveyard? We keep that shit over there because the moment we leave, here comes Scar and all those hyenas to fuck you up. But America's there, and they stay at bay. They stay over there in the distance where it's safe. So you can have your little life and your little festivals and stuff. You can enjoy your freedom that we provide for you. But when we pull back and we're not buying your shit, well, what up, Lou? Well, what are you going to do? You're going to capitulate. You're going to bend to our will. You're going to start doing what we say. And Trump doesn't want no crazy shit. He doesn't want anything crazy. He wants fairness. That's what he wants. He wants fairness. He wants prosperity for us. We've been bent over and getting fucked for too long. Okay, we're the Gimp from Pulp Fiction. We've been in that box. We've been in that footlocker for too long. Just being pulled out by random countries getting fucked. Now it's our turn. I don't have a problem with that. Who could? So China, boom, we got them out of the way. We got them up out of here. They went to Qatar, secured a $1.2 trillion deal. Part of that deal is a $200 billion contract for Boeing. What is that going to do? That's going to create jobs. Hey, you took my job. They took your job. Right? We're taking those jobs out. We're going to take their jobs. We took their jobs. We took their jobs. If you know, then you know. But that's jobs. The deal that he secured, part of the deal that he secured with Saudi Arabia, that's to build a factory here in America, in Michigan, to start producing insulin. Because, I know this is crazy, we should probably produce critical items here. Medicines, things of that nature, things that we don't leave to the hands of our enemy. China is producing our medicine. How in the fuck does that make sense? Would you trust somebody you've been fighting with to go back there in the kitchen and make your food for you? What do you think they're going to do to your food? You've been calling them names. They've been calling you names. You've gotten up into each other's faces. It's never come to blows, but it's come close. They've stolen shit from you. And you say, hey, man, can you go make me something to eat back there in the kitchen where I can't see you? What do you think they're going to do to your food? When you go to a restaurant, you're halfway believing they're doing shit to your food anyway. But what if you hated the cook and he hated you? You're guaranteed to have some spit in there, or worse, or dropping your shit on the ground. What's that movie? Was it Dude, Where's My Car? Isn't that the one where homeboy took the no, was it Dude, Where's My Car? Let me know in the comments. Where dude he complained about I didn't want powdered sugar on my French toast. Said, no problem, man. Takes it back in the kitchen, licks the fucking powdered sugar off, tosses the French toast in the air, opens his pants, catches the French toast in the front of his pants, catches a piece in the back of his pants, and he's going like this, just rubbing his ass, taint, and balls. Waiting, that's what it was with Ryan Reynolds. What a weird fucker he is. Rubbing his ass and taint and balls all over his food and then putting it back on the plate and taking it out to him. The Batwing, that shit was crazy. Was it Road Trip? Look, Dude, Where's My Car and Road Trip. Those are like the same movies. I think you're right, Island Anderson. I don't think it was in Waiting, Andrew, but that was a good movie. But that's what he did to his French toast and then gave it back to him. The guy's like, awesome, thank you. And he pours syrup on it and starts eating it. And that French toast is 40% ball sack. Yeah, Waiting was the Batwing for sure, Spencer. I remember that. And if you looked at it. But what do you think China's doing to us? They probably got some time release shit in the stuff we take. We're fucked up already. Look at these vaccines and shit people are taking. And how many times are we going to let China infect the world? Bird, swine, sweet and sour sniffles. So maybe they shouldn't be making our medication. That's an idea. Maybe we shouldn't allow them to buy property near military bases. I wouldn't allow China to buy property next to a fucking sewage treatment plant. No foreign nation should be allowed to own property in our country. There are plenty of countries around the world where you can't own property there unless you're a citizen. Why wouldn't we do the same thing? How fucking stupid is it to allow China to own farmland? Farmland. Our food comes from there. They're probably poisoning our food or making it so the ground is sterile and can't grow anything by the thousands of acres. That is dumb. If you told a room full of 8-year-olds that somebody did that, they would say, that's not smart. That doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't. So why would we allow our number one enemy not only to own land here, but farmland and near a military installation? Guys, that sounds so damn stupid. Why would we do that? Daryl Hopkins, thank you very much. And is it possible, could Trump through executive order just say, nope, that's our land now. Here you go. We'll work out some way for you to get your money back. But no, you can't do that. That's so stupid. That just doesn't make any sense. But all these deals that Trump is making around the world, it's to our benefit. It's to bring manufacturing here. It's to create jobs here. It's just not, what is it, $140 billion or $120 billion for some military defense package. Because I guess Saudi Arabia deals with Somali pirates and shit too, or whatever. It's not just that. The same deals that he's doing. Okay, Kevin Cornell says road trip. All right, I believe you, Kevin. It's road trip. But it's like the tariffs that he put on Mexico and he put on Canada. It wasn't just to be a dick. Yes, part of it is because we're buying all of your shit. You're not buying any of ours. Yes, of course. But part of it was to stop the flow of fentanyl coming over the Canadian border, coming over the Mexican border. That's what part of that was as well. Because all this prosperity and all this opportunity that we're going to have means nothing if we're not alive to enjoy it. That's why I believe that what RFK is doing with the FDA and everything, getting the dyes out of foods and the vaccines being tested against, what is it? It's the word I'm looking for. Placebo. Is that what it is? Anyway, the things that RFK is doing with basically our health and the food that we consume, that's more important than anything Trump is doing. Because again, if we're not healthy, we won't be concerned with anything else but our health. And if we're dead, you can't enjoy shit. So that's the real important stuff, getting the dyes and these chemicals out of our food for ourselves and our children so we can be alive and healthy to enjoy the country that Trump is trying to lay out for us. Another thing that I'm looking really forward to is the 4th of July. That shit's going to be crazy. That's going to be our 250th birthday. Oh, man. And I hope that Trump makes that celebration so over the top that the left just, their heads just explode. I hope it's so American that they can't fight, that they pass out. There's faint. And that's the men. Sweet Mama G says, I spend $300 a month compounding my son's medication just to remove the food dyes. Can't wait until I don't have to do that. Yeah, keeping the dyes out of your children's food until you get like, yeah, Aaron, a military parade. Oh, it's gonna be fucking crazy, and I can't wait. But until you get a routine, trying to keep that stuff or finding what doesn't have the dyes and shit in the food for your kids is really hard to do. My wife did that. I helped, but she did most of it. Finding products that don't have that in it. And it's tough because your kids, when they're kids, they don't understand that. They don't understand that it's for their health and that it's better for them and that it's good for them. All they see is all the other kids are eating that. Why can't I eat that? Why do I have to eat this when all the other kids are having that? Why, when all the other kids are getting ready to eat this, you give me that to eat? You know, when they have parties and stuff. Oh, it's so-and-so's birthday. We're bringing cupcakes. Well, what they're going to bring. Next year. My bad, Chris. Next year. Because 1776, 2026. You know what I mean. But, okay, so-and-so's birthday. So we're going to bring cupcakes. What they're going to bring is a big container of 24 cupcakes from Walmart or some shit that have blue and red frosting all over it. Well, that shit's jam-packed with red 40, whatever the fuck, blue 6, all these terrible dyes. And that shit is terrible for their brains. It fucks with the chemical signals that you send to your brain because it's in your blood. Your blood goes to your brain, affects their mood, it affects their attitude. It's all this crazy shit that goes on, man. And it stems from their food. And if you were going to poison somebody, what's one of the biggest supplies you would poison? What's something that everybody has to have? Food, water, air. Weedy Biggs, thank you very much. Big fan of your channel. Much love from Texas. I appreciate you. Well, thank you very much. Sweet Mama G says, my son won't sleep for days if he eats them. No melatonin or trazodone can quell him. He just slams his head into the walls and floor. It's so toxic and horrific. It really is. And that's, if it's compounded with another issue that a child is dealing with, it just puts it into overdrive. If they're dealing with an issue, food dyes, that's like putting a rocket booster on the issues that they're dealing with. It just fucking sends it into overdrive. It really is crazy. And it really is. A lot of people don't realize that. But if you have problems with your kids, their attitude changes, they're ticking, you know, they're doing things like this, or they're blinking their eyes, or they're twitching their head, or they're moving their hands like this. I think they call it, they're called tics. If you notice that in your kid or anything like that, any attitude change, I would start looking there. Start looking at the food. Go to your pantry and look at what you're giving them. And there's no guarantees, but there's a very good chance that if you take those out of their diet, those will change. Sweet Mama G, she said stimming. I was going to say that, but I wasn't sure if that's reserved for more severe types of ticking, if you know what I mean. But if there are attitude or things like that, or digestive problems, they don't poop or something like that, start with the food. Start with their stomach, what they're putting in their stomach. It's crazy. It really is. When you start looking into that, it's all connected, man, and it's fucked up. It's fucked up that they put those things in those foods that they know kids are going to eat. Those Takis, man, Takis and hot Cheetos should be fucking outlawed. Look up a video of somebody. Matter of fact, damn it, if I had one here, we don't have this shit in our house. If I had one, I need to get a bag of them and show you. If you take a hot Cheeto or a Taki out of the bag and you light it with the lighter, it will burn like a fucking candle. And that's just not something you should put in your mouth hole. Sheldon Noel from North Kakalaka. Thank you. Bud, thank you. Bud. Remember, that's what Rudy called Kenny. His name's Kenny. I call him Bud. Bud. That shit is so funny. All right, people, should we handle some more business? Yes, we should. I want to talk to you guys about Patriot Protect. Stop the scam. Stay private, stay safe. You know what I did one time? I recommend you do this if you want to scare yourself a little bit. Just Google your name. And you know what the right information is. You know if it's right or not. You'll start seeing old addresses, old phone numbers, families' names and shit. It's pretty scary. The problem is that you have companies selling your data. Newsweek, they had a report about this big data breach in February where millions of people had their information sold to all these different companies. And it went undetected for more than 2 months. Your name, social security numbers, home addresses, phone numbers, drug test results, all kinds of things you're not even thinking about. This comes from them selling your information online. And it's more than just passwords and things like that. You don't have to leave your footprint out there for people to see. You don't leave your front door unlocked, so why would you leave your identity exposed? The solution is you can stop your information from being leaked, but you can do so for a lot less than you think. It takes the scammers out of the equation, taking your information. You're not going to get contacted by somebody you know is clearly in some cafe in Mumbai somewhere. The Patriot Protect, it's the new blackout service. It goes even deeper, scanning the dark web to find out if you have anything out there, any stolen data. It's already being bought and sold. If you have your information out there, it's exposed. If it's been breached, you need the blackout service. It'll let you know exactly who's out there, exactly who's looking for your information. Now, Patriot Protect, they search and destroy protocol. Their search and destroy protocol removes your personal information from more than 100 plus data brokers out there. The scammers, the criminals, they steal your info, but Patriot Protect will scan the internet, remove all that information, and then they continuously monitor to make sure they eliminate everything. So it's not just a one and done. They come back to check to make sure that it doesn't happen again. Like when firefighters put out a fire, they have somebody come back and check to make sure the embers don't reignite. That's exactly what Patriot Protect is going to do for you. You need to go to patriotprotect.com/Jericho. Promo code is Jericho, all caps, 15% off your yearly prescription. Don't forget, that is patriotprotect.com/Jericho. Bam! Better protect yourself before you wreck yourself. So, we covered a lot of good things here today. What I'm most excited about, of course, the deals that Trump's doing around the world. That National Homeless Center for veterans, that's such a duh moment. I don't know why this shit wasn't done before. I don't know why other leaders or other presidents haven't gone around the world to negotiate like that. I just don't get it. Paint Slanger 86 is, as the kids crave these things because they're like a drug and you will be addicted to it. A lot of people are addicted to food in general. Yeah, man, it's some weird shit out there. But if you find any of those issues with your kids, I would definitely recommend checking the food they consume first. Because my daughter, when she was younger, she dealt with this, and we took her because we didn't know shit. We didn't know anything. We hadn't done the research yet. So we were kind of reliant on what we were told by the professionals. And we had people saying, oh, she has Tourette's. We're going to get her on this medication. And we're just like, whoa. Hold up. Fortunately, we had the presence of mind to do that. And we started looking and found out it was the shit that's in her food. So we took certain things out. Problems went away. She's a very intelligent, beautiful, attitude-filled 13-year-old today. So I recommend you look at what you're giving them. And it's tough. You know, it is tough to remove that. But my wife and I, we found that if you have something to replace it with before you take it away from them, it makes it a lot easier. I appreciate you guys being here. Speaking of the kids, that's why I got to go pick up from school. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left. Say it with me, kids. But they just won't let me. I'm out.